Magandang hapon po, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Senator Tulfo. Dr. Gina Nilo po from the Bureau of Soils and Water Management. So we have a program po on composting and so the question is about how do we...
Just na po itong composting program, ano po? Am I right? 8 years na.
Yes, about
Right,
8 years
okay.
po.
And in this tip,
17.
Programa to, it's just fun. Oh, because of the high cost of fertilizer.
Yes, ma'am.
And you can produce fertilizer out of kitchen and garden waste. So I thought
Yes.
that this will enable the farmer to produce their own fertilizer, provided they are given the composting machine. So you were given a budget of 1 billion in 3 years
2020.
ago,
Yes, ma'am.
2021, and then 3 billion last year, this 2023.
Yes po, Ma'am.
And then now I have asked the National Rice Program to give you a budget of 2 billion because I want every town in the Philippines to have a composter.
yes.
They can produce their own fertilizer.
Yes, thank you po, Madam
My
Chair.
question to you now, anong pangalan niyo po, ma'am?
Gina Nilo po, Dr. Gina Nilo.
Dr. Gina, ilan po ang composting machine na ngayon na
For 20
na ng DA?
yes sir, for 2022 po we have about 1,000 composting machine, and for this 2023 it's about 3,200 composting machine.
Lahat-lahat po ilan na?
So it's
Give or take,
it's more than 4,000 composting machine. CFBW po ang tawag namin doon.
Okay, good. Saan po ito na-distribute at sino po yung mga nakatanggap nito?
Okay,
Ano po
so
mga lugar?
thank you very much po. So these are distributed all over the country po, and meron po tayong qualification for the beneficiaries. So meron po tayong mga farmers association, meron din po tayong mga local government units at and if this is for example, for the rice program, we give priorities to beneficiaries that are engaged in rice farming so that it will support the compost requirement or organic fertilizer requirement of our rice farmers. Similarly, kasama rin po dito yung ating mga organic agriculture program, corn program, high value program, because this is our way to promote adaptive balance fertilization strategy. This is our response to rising costs of fertilizer, because the idea here is to combine the use of compost or organic fertilizer with inorganic fertilizer. In so doing, we also sustain the fertility of our soils, because the use of compost will increase the nutrient holding capacity of our soil as well as water holding capacity. So this is also our way to adapt to climate change. Thank you po.
I agree
Mr.
with you.
Chair.
Now, ang second question ko po sa inyo, Doktora, ay gumanda ba ang yield ng harvest since nagkaroon itong composting program at nakapaggastos na tayo ng bilyones? At ano-ano po yung lugar na nag-benefit ng gusto nito? And can you give us a comparative study, yung before composting and then during composting, kung nagkaroon pa ng pagbabago sa yield, sa harvest?
Answer that it was not supposed to improve the yield. The primary purpose is you have free fertilizer. Kasi pag ikaw gumawa ng fertilizer mo, libre yon. Kasi ito comes from kitchen and garden waste. So yung parang ito, imbes na itapon sa landfill yung kitchen and garden waste, ginagawang fertilizer. Kasi ito, experience namin 20 years sa Las Piñas, we all our kitchen and garden waste, which is 50% of the waste, we compost into fertilizer. And because of that, we don't throw the 50% of our waste. So ngayon, tapos nire-recycle yung plastic waste, we save 300 million a year from throwing away garbage.
Tama po yun.
Oh, so the ano here is yung libre yung fertilizer. Tapos malinis yung bayan mo kasi you don't have to throw away the waste. You
Kaya nga,
recycle the waste.
kaya nga, di ba, libreng fertilizer. So sana, dahil may fertilizer, gaganda yung yield ng harvest, right? Versus kung walang fertilizer. Ngayon, nabigyan ng
Would like to answer. Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead, sir.
thank you very much, Madam Chair and Senator Tolpo. The use of organic fertilizer is actually part of our recommendations in improving the yield of our rice. So it's part of the balanced fertilization. So it's not just using purely organic. So for example, Madam Chair, Mr. Senator, in our recommendation, we recommend at least 10 bags of organic fertilizer in addition to the use of the rice straw that is already in the field. Then you can also add additional inorganic fertilizer or biofertilizer. Now, the significance of using organic compost is that it has other micronutrients that are not available in inorganic. In inorganic, you have only N, P, and K at most. Whereas in organic fertilizer, you have the micronutrients like magnesium, sulfur, zinc, and then it also enhances the soil quality, the water retention, and then the sustainability of the rice farming in the long term.
Itong composting po, fertilizer, ginagamit niyo po to sa palay?
As part of the fertilization
Sa palay.
sa rice.
Okay, sa rice. Hindi ho angkop dapat to. Kasi patubig yung sa rice, lulutang po itong compost.
Hindi sir. Kasi they have to be composted properly. If you just use the the rice straw or the waste material without composting it, then it will float. But if it is properly using those composting machines, it's properly composted,
Okay.
and then it is degraded, then it is incorporated properly in the soil.
So do you have study to...
Use it in vegetable also.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with vegetable kasi, Madam Chair, yung information na tanggap ko, hindi bagay. Sa vegetable, okay ito in composting. Pero pagdating sa rice, hindi. Dahil sa rice, patubig yan. So, nandun yung possibility na lulutang to, itong composting.
It's part of our recommendation, Madam Chair and Mr.
Rice, because they told me that compost with animal manure is very suited for rice. Can we call field rice now?
Yeah, this is actually what I'm saying is part of the recommendation of field rice, Madam Chair. Jan?
Madam Chair, Mr. Senator Tulfo, sir. Opo, yung ang kalahatan po natin siya tignan, bahagi po yung napoproduce from the composting machine, yung organic fertilizer. Sa rice po, isang paggamit nito, sa pagpupunla po ng planting material, sa seedbed pa lang, ginagamit siya. Para yung pong mga seedlings, kasi po yung kakayahan niya na gawing mas better yung soil, madali mong bunutin yung seedlings sa practice po sa rice, bago mo ita-transplant. Pagka po gumagamit ng organic fertilizer. So ito po yung, ngayon po yung tanong nyo na nakaka-contribute ba to sa yield. Mahirap pong i-separate kasi yung ano ba yung na-contribute niya dun sa total yield. Pero sa practice po talagang ginagamit yan ng ating mga farmers. Even po sa field rice, sa ating mga experiment stations po ginagamit.
So meron ba kayong studies nito na angkop na angkop talaga ang composting sa rice?
Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, I would just like to give you an example. Do you remember in one time in Kadiwa at DA, they were selling rice at 25 pesos.